LaxRatz Nation. Chopper here, and I am hanging out today with Coach Kevin Donovan, who has had quite an interesting experience with this lacrosse. In fact, Kevin, before we get into what you're doing today, why don't you take us back to little Kevin, when you first picked up a stick, how you got into lacrosse to begin with?
Yeah, well, first off, Chopper, just want to say thank you to you and the whole gang for everything you're doing for lacrosse. We really appreciate it, and thanks for today. Yeah, little Kevin Jr. Grew up in a small farm in Connecticut. I was a big time hockey player growing up as a goalie, actually. So lacrosse really wasn't anything I was thinking about. Through junior high, it was definitely popular in Connecticut where I grew up. But I loved playing with my friends, but I was so busy with hockey, being highly recruited for Division I and potentially draft pick. Still going into my sophomore year, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. So I couldn't bend my knees anymore, and I couldn't play goalie, which was really tough for me to deal with. But I found a stick, and without my ability to really move well, I just basically sat on the crease and dunked the ball in. And then by senior year, I was able to get some Division I offers, and I was able to play hockey again. So I decided to take a post-grad year at Choate Rosemary Hall, which I recommend for a lot of kids, especially during this time. And it was a great experience, and I was able to play, summer ball in between that time and finally start, heavy recruiting. I had a choice to make between hockey and lacrosse for college, but, fell in love with Lehigh University, and, it was a great experience there.
I talked to a lot of players who cross over lacrosse to the hockey and back. I'm just curious if you ever played box lacrosse, because that's basically hockey without the skates, right? Did you ever do much of that?
Yeah, I wish. That's what they called me. They called me a big lefty Canadian. Like, that's the way I played. I went to grad school after Lehigh, and I coached at McGill, and I was able to play at McGill University in Montreal. So it was my first time playing. I loved it. I just wasn't able to play much of it, but they're very ferocious up there. But I enjoyed the physicality. It was definitely a good transition.
Great background. Get us from back east playing to out west coaching. How did that all happen?
It happened after Lehigh University. I chose Lehigh because there's a lot of different options, but I thought it was just a great, opportunity to build a program. And we were 47th in the nation when I was recruited there, and we finished 7th. Made the NCAA tournament and all that. And we won the Patriot League. So, but I was still had injuries, still dealing with Lyme disease. I actually fractured my skull, unfortunately. So a little small tidbit, I can't smell or taste anything. So if you ever see me at a tournament, I'm sweating, then, if I smell bad, I'm sorry. But, yeah. So, so I work well in the locker room with the boys. If they smell bad, I'm like, I got it. So I had kind of that itch still, because I put so much time into hockey. Lacrosse, was still fresh to me. So I moved out to San Diego to work for Adrenaline, started helping out with some of their teams. But I always knew I wanted to go back west because, what was happening there. I got my first taste with Adrenaline, and I was like, I want to be part of something out there. And it's, it's kind of the Western gold rush, and we're seeing it now. But, from the time I left in those 2 years and coming back, I was like, wow. Even my first practice, I was an assistant at Santa Monica. I was like, these kids' stick skills are good. Like, dude, I didn't, I was impressed. And, since then, it's just been building, and it's been fun to be a part of, and that's really important for me. And I think a lot of the coaches out here just to build the game, and learn, what we can do to help each other and help the game itself,